Hi. The penny's finally dropped what your ex means by he wants to be ignored. It sounds a bit weird when you first hear it, but it just dropped. I thought I'd do a vid to try and explain it because I don't think you understand what he's talking about. It's an interesting thing that he's brought up, and it makes me think about a lot of things actually. Yeah, the uh, big problem between men and women, and it starts off from childhood. Um, Imagine this: a little boy and the mother's fussing over him, fixing his shirt, doing this. Get away, mum, leave me alone, will you? For fuck's sake, just leave. Oh, one sec, I'm just trying to, I'm just trying to, squeeze his pimple. Fuck off! And that's where it starts. Yeah, it's like, I'm trying to do something, and I'm interested in this thing over here, and you're looking at me. And just leave me alone. And it's just scrutinising it. And women will do it. They'll come right up to you and look at you. What's that on the side of your face? Oh God. And they'll actually feel free to walk up and say, oh, and it's like, it's none of your business. I didn't ask for you to look at it. I'm a doctor, you're not a nurse. But out of the blue, they'll take it upon themselves to just do that. And that's what he's talking about. He just wants to, not ignored is probably the wrong word he's using. Invisible would probably be a better word. He would rather, okay, think of it this way. That Google bus I was talking about? Okay, you and I are sitting in the bus. We're driving down, I don't know, Sweden, somewhere in Stockholm. And you're on cam and I'm on cam, and you're like, gee, that's a nice shirt you got on, Bob. You really have to get something done about that thing on the side of your face. And I'm saying, boom, can we talk about what we're seeing here in the screen? And you go, oh, yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And anyway, you arsehole, why did you tell me to do that? That's what it's like. It's like, uh, we're trying to say, can you, like I'm deliberately sending you stuff that give us something fresh to talk about. Just new subjects, easy subjects. Don't kill me. Uh, you've changed my whole business outlook. That's why I had to come up with something dead easy that didn't take long and what didn't get boring, didn't get too stressful. I say, what do you think of it? Gee, this is good, isn't it? Going well there. I don't know whether it's going to work or not. But at this stage, it's probably not the main thing. Probably the main problem is how do you create something that you can talk about rather than me? Because that's what happens. It always focus turns on to me. And I was just thinking about it. I thought, yeah, it's actually your admins in the room or your admins in society are the people who are looking at other people. Gee, there's a big blotch you've got. Yeah, I notice that blotch you've got there. I notice this, I notice that. Whereas I don't notice anything about them, nor do I care. I'm not looking at them. I'm trying to produce a product or, trying to promote it, trying to do this, trying to put a garden in. I'm not looking at another person. And I think it comes from boredom. I think when people, I don't know, I've never looked at other people. I don't really give a shit. People can do whatever they want. And this is possibly what I can't be sure, but I'd say that might be what your ex is trying to tell you, that, will you fucking leave me alone? I'm quite happy to be with you, but if I'm there, they're twiddling me. Oh, isn't that cute? Is this and that? Oh. And what happens, typically, is it starts off, as the song says, we're wonderful, we're Superman, the wind's in our hair. And then it changes, and we're the most lousy bastard you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, and it's actually, I think, that's how they describe narcissism. That if you're not the best person in the world, you're the worst. So what ends up happening is that we become a reflection of narcissism. Yeah, something like that. We're actually a reflection of it. We didn't ask to be the best in the world, nor did we ask to be at the bottom of the barrel. But what's happening is that we're being assigned that. One moment we're just, oh, hero, just the most wonderful, oh, such a lovely person. Right at the very top. And then a year later, don't talk to that arsehole. Total arsehole. And it's sort of like, I didn't, and this is what your ex would be saying. I don't want either extreme. I'm just, I'm just a guy. I don't want any of that. And if you're looking at him going, oh, so nice, oh, I love you so much, he knows that the other end of it's going to be, you fucking prick, you horrible person, you pig. And we know that's what's going to happen. That's why he'd be keeping away from you. He doesn't want it. Sorry. He might want you, but he doesn't want that. And that's, we're learning. Yeah, we're all sort of aware of it now. We're just sick of it. And we keep saying, will you focus on what I used to say to Sue? Will you stop focusing on me and focus on what we're trying to do, and maybe, make a suggestion about it or a comment about it, or come up with an idea to help, get it going quicker or something, rather than talk about what I've done right or wrong, or which was usually ended up being wrong. And it was just, oh God. Yeah, so that's what it is. And people that are still there in there are the people who look at other people, who spend their life actually. I like take police for example. They're not actually trying to achieve anything. They spend their life looking and studying other people. What's he up to? What's he doing wrong? What's this person doing wrong? He looks a bit sus. He's no good. Yeah, see, I noticed that, and it's just awful. Well, I suppose we need them, but you can be perfectly honest, and perfectly harmless, and they can cook anything up out of it because yeah, I thought he looked bad, and they talk to one another. Yeah, that's why I got a violence order on me. He's bad. Raph, yeah, you're evil. Yeah, right, fucking evil. Yeah, but that's what's happening, and it's just honest and honest. That's why when I just don't want anything to do with them anymore. There are too many of them. They're too strong, and it's just and it doesn't matter. They can't help themselves. They're just going to say something, and it'll just bring me down. And I thought that look, go away. So I just tell them they're haters, and they don't like that, and they leave. But I'd say that's what it is. As I said, I can't be positive. But yeah, he's happy to do stuff with you, but he doesn't want you focused on him. He wants, if you go to focus on the meal or focus on the restaurant. If you go out for dinner, or talk about what you're going to do next week or something. What we hate is the staring at you. Is that a nostril hair you've got there? Here, let me, pluck it for you. Fuck off! Just go away. Get out of my face. That's what it's like. You're really insistent, Bob. Now, what have I said about you at all? Have I made any comment on any aspect of your character at all? Have I actually looked at any aspect of your character at all? Other than I've got to explain things to you a lot of time. It's just, but I can't see why you'd bother with me. And I've already said, well, it's hard to get through to the other person. So yeah, sometimes it becomes a bit frustrating. You have to go over it and over it and over it and over it again until you sort of understand what I'm talking about. Yeah, so that's not always easy, but I mean that's not a character thing. That's just, I think that's human condition. It's quite difficult for two dissimilar things to communicate. Sometimes it's easy for me to communicate with a bird. Like I understand what he's saying. Like it's either fuck off or get rid of those fucking snakes from me. Yeah, but I think that's what he's doing, and he's saying no. I just want. Because I mean, there's no, just to be ignored in itself makes no sense. But yeah, if in his relationship with you, he wants his personal attributes to be ignored, or his personal qualities, or at least not to be discussed. He just wants, please, just ignore all of that. Just leave that, and can we just go out and have a nice meal, or go to the beach, or go for a drive, or talk about getting. So don't talk about me personally. Uh, that's what I think he'd be saying to you. Oh, I could be wrong. Could be worthwhile. Ask him. Is that what he means? And he'd probably say, "Yeah, how'd you know that? How'd you figure that out finally?" Because it's. I can't tell you how dreadful it is. It's just like, it starts from. I think it's the mothering in you. That sort of like, you know, girls don't seem to mind. I don't see girls saying, "Oh, you leave me alone, mum. Piss off." Girls, "Oh, you change that, do that." They seem to understand it. But boys are just like, "No, piss off. Yeah, no, fucking leave me alone." Well, you've got to admit that's what we like. It's just, little boys just like, oh, some are. Some are, oh, okay, do you think I should wear this or that? No, I don't know. Yeah, it's just like, and I'll change. Oh, go away. Uh, I was trying to hang the bloody clothes out here, even here. And I'm hanging clothes out like I don't give a fuck. Oh, you're doing it wrong. So this woman comes, I was talking to her just before she died. And she said, "Oh, no, you're doing it wrong." Oh, fuck off. I said, "Oh, am I?" And I just did it worse, just threw the sheets over her. Couldn't give a shit how I was hanging the sheets out and my clothing. I just really couldn't. It's just a boring topic. It's like it's hanging clothes out. It's so fucking boring. It's just, I mean, like, I think internet advertising is interesting. Hanging clothes out is just as boring as all fuck. Who cares? Most people throw them in the dryer these days. It's just really, really old. I don't know when the clothesline was invented, but maybe uh, 500-600 years ago. I've probably been talking about it ever since. Like the correct way to hang out clothes. I've got no interest. Yeah, but that's yeah. I'd say that's what it could be. It could be worthwhile pursuing it. But take it as a tip. It's uh, yeah. No, I'm probably like not like all guys because there's segments of them. Police, nurses, men who go into those fields who into the public service, I suppose bureaucrats. Yeah, they're actually watching what other people do. They're not actually doing anything themselves. So all they can do is just watch others, and that's probably what's making the world unbearable. When I was a kid, men were farmers and shopkeepers and that sort of thing. They're too busy, creating things, doing things. Even a farm or something. They're not overly interested in what other people are doing, and they're more interested in what's happening with their crop, what's happening with the weather, what's happening with the markets. There's a lot to look at just in a farm. I know, a lowly sort of, never a highly paid job, but I mean, there's a lot there. I even noticed with the garden here that there's a lot to talk about in the garden. Uh, so I don't know, I was too young to know it, but I mean, I suppose what a farmer wanted was a wife that could talk about his sheep or about his cattle or about his wheat crop or corn crop or whatever, sage, more, whatever he was growing. Um, I don't know. I suppose women would have seen that as being very boring, and I guess it is. If it doesn't set your hair on fire, but men would talk to other men about it, and what weeds were growing and how to kill it, and what's the best. There's a lot to talk about with a farm, for example. Compare that to somebody who works as an environmental officer, which is an area you're interested in, and they're sort of like, yeah, how do we stop this person from doing this or that? And it's sort of like, oh, and that's why they get to, oh, we just fuck off. And as I told you, there's one guy shot him with a gun and rifle, bang, fuck off. He got that bad, 80 years old. He just couldn't stand it anymore. Because you've got someone, just, having a look under your bloody, checking you out the whole time. It's just bugs you. Yeah, and that's what I think the problem is. I don't know what you can make of that, but that's where I think the problem is, the constant monitoring. And it's even saying, oh, you look good in that shirt, or this, like, I don't even see you. I don't. All I get is a bit of text from you. I don't even see you, and it doesn't bother me really. Because I'd rather, you know, talk about what we, what's happening or what, Yeah, but even with when you told me about that, I thought, gee, that's unusual. Ignored. But then again, the usage of the word, and I didn't understand. It just dropped me. It just dropped. The penny just dropped. I thought, oh yeah, that's what I reckon. That's what he's. Yeah, and that would make sense if he said that and you had explained that. I'd say, oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no, a lot of us hate it, can't stand it, and would be enough to drive him away. Uh, and you'd be wondering, what? I've done nothing wrong. Yeah, but it's like a mother that just didn't give up, just kept. It's just like it's depressing. It's actually depressing. That's what happened to my family. They're very much like that. And it's very depressing. Vaughan wasn't. She was sort of into, doing whatever she was doing, but yeah, Jackie and Sue, it was just, and you say, no, it's depressing, and they get upset. And I said, well, I can only explain it to you about 10,000 times, and then it just gets, it's just too much. I'm just really saying, can you leave me out of it? No, no, we're women, we just do whatever we fucking care. Now, you have to do what we tell you to do, but no, we just go on doing whatever we want to, you know. We're women. Yeah, right. And it's and then they say, oh, Bob, you're a misogynist. And you go, oh, fuck. Have a look at a kid, little. They're not misogynists. They just don't want to be fucking. Yeah. I read years ago when this surgeon was, this guy before, yeah, a couple of 100 years ago. This guy had a hole in his stomach or something. You could see right through into the stomach, and this guy was really interested in studying this anatomy of this guy, so he paid him some money and that sort of thing. And he'd poke around and look, and the bloke just couldn't stand it. And he's just like, fuck off, because he's looking at something. He just fucking leave me alone. Yeah, it's that. It's. I get the feeling women like all the attention. They like, oh, your eyebrows look nice, your eyelashes look, almost like, what else, or lips, talk about all the bits of your body. And most blokes aren't interested in it. We're not interested in, most of us aren't interested in looking at one another, at other people. Or not most of us, a segment. Let's say a segment. Could be 30%, could be 40%, could be 20%, I don't know. But just the type of guy that just don't want to be scrutinised, and if we start scrutinising you too much, let us know and we'll stop. Because we understand the emotion. Nah, fair enough. We're looking at too closely. Yeah, no, I won't do that anymore. I think that could be, because I know you love your ex and you want to be with him, but that might help. I don't know. Uh, if you could sort of get your mind around it. If you can't, let me know and I'll go over it again and we'll just try and work it out. But I think it comes from this. It's such a part of you that it's very hard to explain to women, and I think mothers see it as rejection from little boys. But it's just something little boys, we just don't want to be, just like, get out of my personal space with it. That's what it's like. Yeah. Okay. It's just an idea. Talk later. Bye.